What is going on, guys? Adrian from over here at the Pipe Dream. Going to be streaming a little bit of Magic: The Gathering Arena. Trying to get into Mythic today. We're going to be grinding a little bit of mono red. Yesterday we did some, I think we did Golgari mid-range and a little bit of mono blue. Today I wanted to try my hand at mono red. If any of you are over here from my main YouTube channel, Pipe Dream Hookah, and am wondering what I'm smoking today, it's going to be Elfaker Double Apple out of an 80 feet. No, a Harmony wide gauge and a matte pair. For those of you who are not there from that, that doesn't matter to you. But we're going to get right into it. What's going on, Aiden? You still at work, man? Alright, let's see what we got here. Opponent goes first. We've got 2 runaways of Pyromancer, Lava Coil, and Shock. This isn't like the nut hand. It's not really fast or anything, but these runaway Steamkins can get kind of big. The Lava Coil is pretty good utility to have against any of these Drake decks. We're going to try it. It's a little bit weak, and I would much prefer to be able to play with a hand like this, but I'm not going to 6. We got lands, we got spells. Opponent's down on 6, which helps. We need to see what they're playing. Ideally, not like mono white. That's been kind of a rougher matchup for this deck. I really got to get Experimental Frenzy for that to work out. Okay, that helps quite a bit. A 1-drop with haste. Great. Vanguard. Maybe we can trick him into paying some life with this Vanguard. Probably not. It's going to stop us from attacking him very freely. But if I start to attack with stuff like Vashino Pyromancer and they start to make it indestructible, that's kind of good news for us. So we are going to start with a Runaway Steamkin. Try to make it into a 3-3 next turn, probably using a combination of like a second Runaway Steamkin and a Shock or something. These can get a little bit out of hand in this particular matchup, which is great. I could just attack in there and see if they want to pay 4 life to make it indestructible, but there's a lot of other cards that they're playing besides a Danto Vanguard that could make this Fanatical Firebrand quite good. History of Benalia. If I was a betting man, yeah, History of Benalia it is. Now, if they go to attack with their Vanguard, we're certainly going to block. See if they want to pay some life to make it indestructible. I don't know that they're going to take that line. They've got to know that their life total is going to be under duress this game. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so this gives us a turn to build up a little bit. So we're going to go with a Runaway, for sure, to make one of our Runaways into a 2-2. Then we're probably going to wind up shocking the Knight. And then after that point, we'll probably get in with everything. Just to see, because they're going to have to start protecting their life total pretty quick with these Runaway Steamkins getting so big so fast. What are you going to do? I'm not sure what's taking them so long to make a decision here. There's not a whole lot they can do but decide whether or not they're going to block or not. That said, it's time to get in for 4. Now, are you just going to take the trade, or are you going to take 4 instead of 1? Because I don't think this Firebrand's going to deal 4 damage this game. So mathematically, that doesn't add up quite right for the white deck. For them to block and then make it indestructible. Yeah, this is very strange. I don't see the advantage in the math here. Now let's see. They can get in. They might try to play a copy of Conclave Tribunal to get rid of the bigger Runaway Steamkin. That's probably their best play here. I don't know what else they could do that would be very good. Getting down a copy of Adanto the Last. What is the name of that card? The Legion's Landing. If they can get down a copy of Legion's Landing, that may help them a little bit. We'll see. Direfleet Daredevil. Ooh, maybe they're going to shock off one of my guys. Okay, that helps a little bit. So they're going to get in. Okay, a land, not bad. We will play Viashino Pyromancer. Get in there, in their face, bring them down to 10. And then I think we'll remove a Knight. Because by removing a Knight, they'll have to block with Direfleet Daredevil, which has First Strike, which is relevant because of this Viashino Pyromancer. So we're certainly just going to... This is interesting. Do I want to remove both creatures and attack for a little bit less, but guarantee the damage? That's a good question. Because that would be a guaranteed 3 damage. No, I don't think I like that so much. Yeah, let's shock off. I could just attack first, because they're going to certainly be blocking if I don't decide to remove both of their unblocked creatures, or their untapped creatures. So let's get in with Runaway Steamkin. See if maybe they try to go for a 2-for-1 themselves. I don't think they'll take that route, but it might be worth a shot. Because if they just let this through, yeah, they're not going to let it through. We're going to, yeah, perfect. So we're going to get both creatures, it looks like, which is what would have happened anyway, but I guess making our opponent make a decision first is always a pretty good call. That said, let's shock the Direfleet Daredevil. There definitely is something to be said for keeping their board size down. Alright. So what could they do here? Conclave Tribunal on Steamkin would still be very good. Then they could get in for 3, I could get in for 2. Legion's Landing's not bad. A little lifelink guy. Ain't gonna hurt anybody. 2 Dante Vanguards. It's gonna be hard to get through. Let's see here. I think our best play is to Lava Coil the lifelinker and get in. So we'll try that. Greta Green Wheels. Have you considered breaking his ankles and peeing on him? What's up, Jake Dillon? How you doing? No, I haven't considered that yet. That's actually a pretty good move. So I can't imagine a world where they're going to make these indestructible. They're going to put their life total under quite a bit of duress if they put themselves down at 2 life. They'll die, actually. That said, making the one that's blocking Vashino Pyromancer indestructible might not be the worst investment, but they are just going to let their creatures die, which is fucking outstanding news for us. Little Burrow's Challenger. I like dealing with it and just trying to put them on a little three-turn clock. Drawing any burn magic from here is great. Yep, there's a piece of burn magic. Alright, unless they can come out with some serious force, we're pretty far ahead. We've got all kinds of direct damage spells in our deck still to draw into, and if they can't play anything... So there's our History of Benalia. We could just burn off this token, but with the mana we have available, we'll see if we draw a shock or something, and if not, we'll attack into it and see if they'll block. Alright, let's just get in. Keep their back against the wall, hold as much burn magic as we can possibly have in our hand. Because letting this through is suicide. So, boop. And we'll hold the land until next turn. We'll just have 2 cards in our hand, make them consider all of their plays. Because at this point, there's the Lava Coil. Lava Coil is going to resolve. So we've got them at 6, 3 burn damage in hand. Even a draw like Wizard's Lightning would do the job. There's a Fanatical Firebrand. So we'll just drop the Firebrand. This means we need 2 more points of burn damage. Unless they start to gain life, which is obviously very bad for us. They're certainly going to get in for 4. They've got me wondering what the last card in their hand is. They could just be sandbagging the land. They could be ready for their second History of Benalia, or their third one at this point. We have been playing against a lot of History of Benalias. So we're going to let that through, obviously, because with this Fanatic Firebrand, a top deck of Shock should win us the game pretty quickly. Adversary of Tyrants. Yeah, that's going to happen. I imagine he brings back an Adanto here. He could, or a Boros Challenger. He could just pump his Knight, but that doesn't seem like it has a positive ROI at all. So I think we're going to see an Adanto Vanguard coming back from the graveyard, possibly trying to set up flipping this Legion's Landing and gaining some life. We've got a couple turns, but we do need to draw into a Shock or a Wizard's Lightning. He is going to grow his guy there. Okay. So we're still sitting here. We're going to hold this land indefinitely. This deck runs very efficiently at 5 mana. So we are just going to let him keep doing his thing, and we're going to keep just trying to draw a copy of Shock, Lightning Strike, or Wizard's Lightning. We have about 10 hits left in our deck, so that's not bad. Adanto Vanguard is fine. He's probably going to take out that Ajani here. He is in a racing position at this point. Now, at this point, there's something to be said for just getting the Adanto Vanguard now. Because he'd have to pay 4 life, and if he decides to do that, he goes to 2. So there's no way he's going to do that, but if he does, we can Lightning Strike him. Now, if I wait, I still have the top deck of Shock. So I think we're going to hold on to that. Because Vashino Pyromancer, Shock, there's a lot of things we can draw into to just automatically win the game. So we're going to allow them to get in for 4. And hope we don't keep drawing mountains. That would be ideal. So we're going down to 9. Not a mountain, please. That'll do. So you've got 6 points of burn damage. We're going to point it all at their face. And clean this game right up. Good game, opponent. Sorry you couldn't draw more gas. Puts us up at Platinum Tier 3 in the second. A little bit of highlighting. That said, let's run it back. If anyone wants to see a deck tech or something that I'm doing, I can do it. And if you're already familiar, this is Brian DeMars' list for the article he did on Channel Fireball, I believe. was the place he did it in. So looking at my hand, opponent's first, but we have a decent curve. It's going to be kind of awkward because this Runaway Steamkin is going to come down after my 2/2 drops come down. Maybe I go 1 drop, Runaway Steamkin, try to stack spells afterwards to get a big beater in. But this hand is fine, it's pretty well rounded. We're looking to draw into cards like, honestly, Rekindling Phoenix and Experimental Frenzy would be a nice top end for a hand like this. But if they're playing like a mono white deck or something, I would be completely fine drawing like Chain Whirler, which we have mana for, so we're going to try it. Depending on their hand, we're going to lead on probably get to Lava Runner. With what we see here, maybe it's correct to start with Fanatical Firebrand, just in case they go like Vaishino Pyromancer next turn. And I'd rather this get shocked than Lava Runner, because of the creature type that Lava Runner has attached to it, which is Wizard, meaning Wizard's Lightning is very good. So there's the Pyromancer. Analyzed. Found you out. We're going to just play the Runaway, I think. And now, if we here's the issue with Runaway. If we play Runaway, they can just play Chain Whirler next turn, and that's pretty awkward. Maybe we just play Lava Runner to play around the Chain Whirler a little bit. The thing I don't like about that is you're playing quite off curve, and we're not utilizing all of our mana. But I think it might be worth not getting hosed. There is the chance we just don't do anything and hold up Lava Strike. But no, that doesn't seem right. I think we will play Get to Lava Runner. Just hold this Fanatical Firebrand up for if they do try to play a Chain Whirler. I'll deal with their Vaishino Pyromancer. And then we'll probably, like, I don't know. We might end up having to Lava Strike the Chain Whirler because it's going to be hard to get through if they play one. So let's see what our opponent is going to do. There's the Chain Whirler. We'll go ahead and deal with this Pyromancer right now. Really good draw would be Wizard's Lightning. It's not a Wizard's Lightning, but it's something. So we're going to strike this Chain Whirler right off the board. And then we'll play a Fanatical Firebrand and even out the life totals. So there's their Runaway. So I think ultimately we'll be playing Steamkin, shocking, and attacking. That seems right. Shock the Steamkin. Pump my Steamkin. And get in there for 1. Hopefully they're stuck with something clunky like Pyromancer this turn. That would be outstanding. Hopefully it's not like an Experimental Frenzy. So we got a Lightning Strike. So we're going to get in for 1. And then we will drop our Chain Whirler. Bring them down to 14. And now we're looking to draw into something like Experimental Frenzy. Or, and we're not going to sandbag this land because if it is an Experimental Frenzy, we want to have our land dropped. There's their Experimental Frenzy, which is trouble. Do we have 2 instants and sorceries? We do. Let's get in. Bring them down to 8. Depending on where they point their burn magic that they're in a top deck. Yeah, that's smart. So we've got no choice, just keep getting in, trying to keep the clock going. Hopefully they run into some snags with their Experimental Frenzy. We will sandbag this land, as we can always play it before we play Frenzy, if we decide to. But there's no real plus side to having 6 lands for the most part, unless you've got Frenzy resolved. So we've got Pyromancer. We're going to cast the Pyromancer and dome them. And then I guess we'll drop this land and pass. we might have to take care of a Pyromancer. We're pretty behind. Experimental Frenzy in the mirror match at this point in the game usually wraps up the game in favor of the person playing the Frenzy. Okay, so we're looking at... They have a land on top of the deck. We're going to end the turn. There's no reason to attack into this. One copy of, like... I don't know. One copy of anything doesn't really do it for us, does it? We really need to find ourselves... Wizard's Lightning wouldn't be bad. I'd like a Wizard's Lightning. Our own Experimental Frenzy, since we're so far ahead on life total, would be great. That's a Wizard's Lightning. It's not bad. So we can bring them down to 1 with what we have here. We're going to play this land just in case we do draw Experimental Frenzy. We want to be able to Frenzy for as long as we possibly can. But we are 1 point away from just killing them. So we're just going to hope they don't just draw like all of the burn magic off of this Experimental Frenzy. And then ideally we can hit them with Firebrand, Wizard's Lightning, and like a shock or something. So with Goblin Chain Whirler coming down, do we dome them? We're not going to last. We're going to dome them to hedge against drawing another Fanatical Firebrand. It gives us more top decks that kill them. Now, it would be very awkward if we drew into a copy of Experimental Frenzy and had held this Wizard's Lightning. I'd rather cast it now for 1 mana than have to miss killing them by 1 point. I want to give myself as much chance as I can to peel the win off the top of my deck. Because now we're at any of our burn spells, Goblin Chain Whirler, Experimental Frenzy probably, and a copy of... Ooh, we could just die here, though. We'll see. If they're out of juice here, we've got... That does it. Basically, by putting them to 1, we gave ourselves the most amount, like the highest amount of different things we could draw into to kill them, which is choice. So we got another win. Going for it. Oh, I love that it's cast 30 red or white spells, because that means I'm going to get that pretty quick. Who's watching? Drop something in chat if you're watching me play Mono Red. I know that Greta Greenwheels, I know who you are, Jake. Wizard Lizard the Savior. Yeah, that's exactly why we made the plays we played there. It was to give basically twice as many different top decks that could kill our opponent. So that was ideal. We're going to keep this hand, obviously. 5, 6, 7, 8 points of just straight burn damage with a wizard in our hand. So it's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Just 11 points of damage from casting our spells we have in our hand. That's not including if we're able to get in at all. So it puts us in a pretty good spot, provided we're not playing against like a super hyper aggressive mono white deck and they've got like a bunch of 2 toughness guys. So far that's not the case. If they drop something like a Mar or something, we're going to shock it. Looks like we're going up against Nexus. Potentially, we're going to shock them. We're just going to start getting as many points of damage in as we can because we can't wait in a matchup like this. And now we could just play Steamkin. In fact, we might just play Steamkin. But there's something to be said for just playing the Wizard. The Wizard's got a faster ROI, but the Steamkin's is much higher. Although they're going to be playing a bunch of fog effects. We'll get out the Steamkin. Just to try to push through damage in the long run. By long run, I mean over the course of like the next 3 turns. So they are gaining an aggravating amount of life. They could board wipe next turn. I don't think we have a whole lot of time to play around that. I can see playing Vishino Pyromancer. I could follow it with Fanatical Firebrand, but for mana purposes, I'm going to Wizard's Lightning them in case we see like a Cleansing Nova next turn. If it's Teferi, we'll be able to handle it either way. So we're going to Lightning them in the Dome. Try to get them down to 16. To put it in perspective, if they hadn't gained 6 life, they'd be at 10. So there's Tef, probably going to attack the Runaway Steamkin. No, he's going to untap. Maybe they're... Yeah, they probably just have a Fog effect. We're going to get in. Get them to use a Fog. There's the Root Snare. And here... How much do we want to commit? I think we just Pyromancer face. I don't think we have any time to do with the Teferi at all. So we are ultimately going to Pyromancer face. In fact, we're going to stay mana efficient and Goblin Chain Whirler so it hits both of them. So now we've got 9 damage on the board. We're probably going to get fogged out of the game pretty quickly here, I would imagine, but we'll see. They could also, with this Teferi, just start to take extra turns right now and push us directly out of the game. We'll see what they have. But this isn't exactly the exact kind of hand we want for this matchup. We just wanted like one wizard and like all of the burn magic. So they're playing Search. Perhaps there's something to be said about taking these counters off of the Runaway, hitting their Teferi for 3 with the Lightning Strike, then hitting the Teferi with Pyromancer to just keep them off of cards. As a matter of fact, I think that's exactly what we're going to do. We are going to go through the motions, but we have almost certainly lost this game. Let's Pyromancer. We're going to Pyromancer the Teferi just to get it off of the board. Now, because they almost certainly have Subtle Wreckage, we're going to get in with 2 creatures. I don't know that we get around that anyway. Guess we got to Revitalize, so they've gained 12 life this game. So we would typically have the 4 at this point, but the deck is extremely good at gaining life. So we will... I think we'll end the turn here. They don't want the Arch. The only way we really win this game is if they're just sitting on like dead cards in their hand. Karn's not really a dead card. It's not great because it's going to give me selection the first time, so we'll take the Sunpetal Grove. Obviously, we don't want to give him a free extra turn. And now they're right back in the Subtle Wreckage mode. It's rough. But at this point, there's a Nexus under the Karn, so we just got to go face as hard as we can. So we're going to play this Fanatical Firebrand. Because we're not beating the Subtle Wreckage either way. Okay, so we will end the turn. Hope they can't gain a bunch of life. Try to use Fanatical Firebrand in conjunction with Lightning Strike to end the game. Cards we're most terrified of. We know they're going to take extra turns. So we're terrified of Revitalize and Gift of Paradise. So here comes the Nexus. They're certainly going to cast that Nexus to flip this Search for Azcanta, which means they can probably find a copy of Gain 3 Life. Or they can just start chaining Nexuses if they have the Search flipped. Do they have the mana for it? Search costs 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Make a land drop and they can start chaining them. So we probably lose the game here, but we'll see. Ticking up with Karn. We let that happen. So they didn't flip the search. We're going to let them have a Sun Petal Grove, I guess. It doesn't matter what color of land they have at this point. But, because they have these 2 Gift of Paradises. Otherwise it'd be like, oh, we'll keep them off of blue. So here they go. They're taking another turn. The reason we're still playing this game is because there's a chance they just miss finding a Nexus. And we just go, oh, Domia, and you're at 0. So that's our best shot. But again, it's looking very bad for us at this point. Because they would have to literally miss with this search and not have it in their hand, which are 2 things that are slightly unlikely. We're going to let them keep Anticipate, even though it does get them into an extra copy of Nexus. Potentially, we don't want them to cast Gift of Paradise at all. Because with all the card draw they're doing, they're certainly going to find a board clear, or probably Settle the Wreckage, which means we'll get them with everything except for Fanatical Firebrand, and when they go to Settle the Wreckage, we'll try to dome them for 4. So there's Teferi. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, and if he untaps 5, 6, 7, 8. So he could just start Nexusing again even after this Teferi. So ideally, they miss. If we can get them to, if we can untap our Fanatical Firebrand, we are in a much better spot. But now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana untap. They're going to go to 8 at the end of turn, and potentially just cast another Nexus of Fate. Now, if they untap Search for Escanta, that's a dead tell that they're not going to be doing that. Okay, they're letting us untap, which is pretty sweet. So we are going to get in with these creatures, and when they go to Root Snare or anything, we're just going to go for it. Looks like it's going to be a Settle. So they're only leaving 1... No, they got 2 blue sources still. So we're going to try to Lightning Strike them, see if that resolves. I have a feeling it won't. They probably have a Sabotage at this point. Nope, it worked. So, hopefully... Wait, huh. What are the chances... They can't activate their search, so we're gonna let this resolve, I suppose. Maybe we just keep them at 1 to try to get them to tap down as much as we can get them to. We will get as many basics out of our deck as they let us. So here we have like a serious question, and it's, do we just dome them with Fanatical Firebrand now, or do we wait? Because they're not going to activate search. There's no way. And if they've got a Revitalize in hand, it's over. But if we let them on tap and they have like a Gift of Paradise in hand, like especially done, our best chance is just to do it now. Let's give it a shot. Anticipate. So if they don't find our Revitalize, we're in good shape. We got there. That was a that was close. 3 for 3. Run it back. Ooh, looks like we have someone in tier 3 with me. Alright, so I go first. I have a slow hand with 4 lands. Lava Coil is pretty important in best of 1 for certain matchups. We're going to keep it and hope we don't get flooded. Blue 8 red control potentially. Looks like it's going to be blue at red control. We could just play our Goblin Chainwhirler here, but I'm not in the business of letting them set up a good Deafening Clarion. Okay. We're going to hold our Burn Magic and try to stockpile some of it. Here we will drop the Fanatical Firebrand, and we will try to bring them to 13. There's a Revitalize, so they're just going to stay at 16. We'll end the turn there. We're still looking to dodge Deafening Clarion. They might just not have it, but that's a risk we're almost just not willing to take. Not that the Goblin Electromancer is super good, but the Goblin Chamberlain, and yeah, they do have the Deafening Clarion, so oops. Glad we held the Chamberlain. Not that it's going to be super valuable this game, but we're going to go ahead and dome them, bring them down to 13. Next turn we'll bring them down to 12, and then we'll hope to draw real hot. We are getting a bit flooded, which is something that happens in this deck when you keep a 4-land hand. So, there's our boy, you know him, you love him, Teferi. Probably going to tuck the Chamberlain, yeah. So, best top deck, Experimental Frenzy. That's a land we are very close to just conceding. The reason we kept this hand is because Lava Coil is just, it's only 2 of in this deck, in the main board. And it's very powerful in select matchups, specifically Drakes, which is something you see a lot in this ladder. But the only thing we're holding on for is maybe we top deck a copy of Experimental Frenzy. Maybe they don't have a counterspell for it. It's a Pyromancer. Maybe we can take out Teferi. Unless they have an Essence Scatter. We scoop to Essence Scatter. We scoop to most things here. But we are going to go through the motions here for a couple turns. Revitalize. Yeah, there's almost no coming back from this. Niv Mizzet, crush my face. Yep, there it is. Opt, kill the Pyromancer, maybe. So, I mean, get in for 2. Well, yeah, maybe we should have played the Chamberlain and then tried the Lava Coil. Yeah, that would have been better. Okay. Lava Coil and Niv Mizzet. See if maybe they play Dive Down. They could still have the Dive Down, but we're going to drop this Chamberlain, see what happens. Alright, they've got a Escanta flipping and 7 cards in hand, so this is going to be rough. They didn't flip the Escanta, which means what they just drew was very good. Maybe another Niv? No, it's a hero. Yeah, keeping my board clear is proper play. A worse player would tick up, but just using as few resources as they possibly can out of their hand is very good. Maybe we take a couple more turns to go through the motions. Try to shock this Teferi off the board. Sabotage, we will concede to that. Putting us at a record of 3-1 right now. Alright. Re-up. Senor Stompy. I wonder if they're playing mono green. We got Firebrand, Lava Runner. Yeah, this is a fine hand. We will lead on Lava Runner. Just because it's more efficient if they just play a tap land to get in for 2 next turn instead of 1. The math works out kind of the same, so I'm really not sure what is better. Although, yeah, Pellet Collector here is fine. We're going to shock it off the ground. Play Firebrand. I'm watching you, Jake. Get in there and see what they have for next turn. You know, it would be awful. Not that. I was worried about a Wild Growth Walker. So we will shock it off the ground. Get in for 3. Hope to start drawing some lands because this Frenzy is probably going to be great. There's something to be said about leaving Fanatical Firebrand untapped to deal with their Explorer guys. I'm not sure which is better, whether I just get him with damage or deal with Explorer guys. I don't know what is actually the better play. Lightning Strike it and zap it, or play this Runaway Steamkin and pass. I'm gonna play this Runaway Steamkin and pass the turn. Alright, so I can't... Maybe they do get in? Yeah, they're going to get in here. We're going to let that attack come through. No hide for us. That's really bad for us. Experimental Frenzy is quite good. Yikes. Yeah, we might be pushed out of this game just from sheer ground power. But we will play this Experimental Frenzy. We have made our land drop. So, at that point, we'll pass. Yikes. Alright. So, they're going to try to dome us for 11, which is too much damage, so we're going to be blocking. For sure. Do we keep the Get To Lava Runner because it's the proper creature type, or do we keep Runaway Steamkin for the option to storm off with this Experimental Frenzy? I think I've answered my own question. We're going to go block, block. We cannot block that, so we're going to go block. And, yeah, we can't actually kill it, so we'll block there. I haven't seen Steely Champion this long, I forgot you couldn't block it. Galta? Are we going to see a Galta? No, just Divine Mare. Alright, here goes hoping. We'll draw our land. We'll play a land. Don't have another one, please? Okay, we'll start. Please don't cut us off. Okay. One of those, one of these. Add some mana. One of those. Dome you. One of these. Alright, we are cut off officially. And we'll pass, and we'll hope we can have a similar function off of the top of our library for next turn. And if we can, maybe we can just dome them for damage. Because we can absolutely block and kill Steely Champion. So let's see here. What are we most fearful of? We gotta try to kill him next turn. I don't think we're gonna have much more time than that. We would like to kill off Steely if they attack with it. If they attack with Vine Mirror, we're just going to block and try to kill that outright. So they are going to do no such thing. And I will be blocking with a Fanatical Firebrand and doming them for 1. Because this dumb 6/6 doesn't have trample, which is great for us. Galta. I mean, it doesn't really matter what they play. We have to try to kill him next turn. Coral Harpooner. Luckily, that doesn't kill anything on our side of the board. And here's to not hitting 2 lands. Am I right? There's Galta. Show me money. Alright, not another land. Damn. That's another land. Do we have any blocks that let us not die? That's the fun question we ask ourselves. The only thing with Trample is Galta. Blocking Galta with our Steamkin, blocking Steel Leaf with Chain Whirler. No, blocking Vimir with Chain. We have a chance to survive next turn, so maybe we get one more turn to try not to die. But then after that, we're just done, because this Galta is certainly going to bring us down to 2. They're not going to attack out. We know that. If they do, they're just going to die on the swing back, because they can't actually kill us. So we've got Nullix Ferride coming in. How we have to block here is we have to block... We only need to be at 1, really. And Galta's coming in for 12. So if we block it with the smaller of the Steamkins, that allows us to take 9, go to 1. So if we go like this, and then like this, well, do we maybe want to keep the wizard? Maybe we want to keep the wizard. Maybe we want to block like that, and then block here. Those will be our blocks, and before damage we'll shoot the Steel Leaf for 1. Now it's going to die to first strike damage. And now we're going to take 9. Okay, and now we just have to hope the top of our library is insane. If it's not, we're dead. Here we go. Okay, there's a Shino Pyromancer. Maybe we should have started by removing counters. We'll remove counters now for this next trick. Get to Lava Runner. Yeah, we're going to play off the Chain Whirler. There's a Wiz's Lightning. We're going to get rid of one of their blockers. So now they've only got 2 blockers. Now we will remove counters and we will Wizard's Lightning face. We have 2 mana left, and that is a Rekindling Phoenix. So we are done. Can we kill them with damage? 1, 2, 3, 4 creatures can attack. They all have 2 or more power. We're getting in. I don't think you can avoid 4 damage, dude. I think we just stole the game. Got him. That was a tough one. But that's the power of Experimental Frenzy. He did think. Yeah, he did thought. We were able to get in there. Oh, look, a Selective Snare. Yay. What do I have for wilds? 8 rare, 5 mythic rare. I need to get more for the coming set. Re-up. After this game, I'm going to pack myself a new bowl, maybe do another hour if I have time, and see if we can't get into the next, what do you call it, the next tier of Platinum. The power of Pine Saw. Shut the fuck up, Jake. We've got to get to Lava Runner, which is the right creature type to make these Wizards Lightning happen. Runaway Steamkin. Goes well with Frenzy, we're on the play, so even if we draw 2 lands, we're fine. We'll see if we can make this work. If they play a tap land, we're going to go hyper aggro. We're just going to go... Maybe we'll just follow it with the Steamkin and then try to do it again the next turn. But we could just like straight up come out of the gate and bring them to 12. But I think the better play and the more responsible play is to play a Runaway and then do that the turn after. Yeah, that is the responsible play. So we're going to go responsibility mode. Get in for 1, play the Steamkin, and hope that they don't have like a Lava Coil or something. A smart person will use their Lava Coil on probably the Steamkin here. They're going to search for Azcanta, which means we're about to dome them for like a bunch. So let's just go for the aggro. Get in, bring you to 8. Alright. Oh, that's a Sinister Sabotage, so they could be on blue-red red control. Meaning this Frenzy will be insanely valuable. If they don't make a land drop, that means makes me think they're playing 21 lands, which means they're on Drakes. So let's see. So it's a Steam Vent, so we've got no proof of purchase for the correct colors of mana. We will get in first. We should have just played the Frenzy. As a matter of fact, we won't play Frenzy. We're going to play Chain Whirler. See if they want a board wipe or something. That way, if they get rid of everything we have, we can play Frenzy as a follow-up. It would have been better to play Chain Whirler first, though. That gives us, like, Fanatical Firebrand top decks as how to win the game. But if they can't deal with the board, they're just dead to damage. Boop. Okay, so we're 5 for 6. That's pretty good. Maybe I was onto something with this mono red deck. So I will be right back. I'm going to pack a new bowl for myself because that's one of the things I enjoy doing while I play. Jacob, I just realized my microphone was not on. Why did you not say anything? So now you can hear me. I don't think my mic was on, which is embarrassing. I'm not going to be too hard on myself. This is my 3rd stream here on Twitch, but that was bad. It was on? You hear me now. I just turned my mic on. So that's super weird. But hey, if my mic... Oh, my desktop audio is on. So if my desktop and my desktop are on twice... Real quick test. Jake, can you still hear me now? Are you still able to hear what I'm saying? I think I had 2 mic sources on. So, because I'm actually on YouTube and Twitch at the same time right now. But, let me know. I'll be right back as soon as I make a new bowl. I will be right back. Dropped off. Well, that's super interesting. Hopefully you can hear me well now. I will be right back. I am back. Okay, let me know if you can hear me, Jake, because I am playing with the sound a little bit. I'm getting used to OBS Streamlabs. That said, fire up another one. Jake, if you're wondering, I'm smoking Starbuzz Vintage Morning Breeze Dark Burly Leaf. Oh, goodness. In the Mason Onyx Bowl. Lotus on top. 4 flats. I'm going to take it a moment to get the clouds going. Dark Burly Leaf. Oh, goodness. In the Mason Onyx Bowl. Lotus on top. I appear to be echoing. Also, this hand seems underpowered. Give me just a moment. Let me make sure everything is good. So I'm going to turn the mic off and see if that does anything. 4 flats. So just give me a second. I think I will. I'm going to take it a moment to get the clouds going. Mulligan this hand. It doesn't seem very good. This one seems worse. Dark Burly Leaf. Oh, goodness. In the Mason Onyx Bowl. Lotus on top. I appear to be echoing. Also, this hand seems underpowered. Give me just a moment. Let me make sure everything is good. So I'm going to turn the mic off and see if that does anything. 4 flats. So just give me a second. I think I will. Okay, it appears as though that fixed my audio. Yeah, I have to hang out in OBS Studio more. Okay, so where were we? We were playing mono red and mulliganing to 5. That's where we were. So if we get anywhere this game, it's going to be off of the back of this runaway Steamkin. Haunted Witness. I think we will attack them for 1 and then shock them when they block. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. So they're not going to block, meaning I think I will lightning strike them. Okay, so we're on 5. We're playing against a Selesnya mid-range deck with this a Memorial to Glory, so that could be an uh-oh. Bunch of 1 toughness guys isn't bad. Goblin Chain Whirler should clean this up if I can draw a land. Conclave Tribunal, that is bad. We kind of wanted that runaway Steamkin for this particular game plan we're having here. Yeah, this is rough. We're going to go through the motions for a few turns, but the mulling to 5 in this deck already makes it very difficult to win, so. Another Sapling Migration. Okay, hopefully we can get to that. Unless they play Venerated Lexodon, then it's, oops, we're actually conceding. We kind of wanted that. Alright, there's a Venerated Lexodon. We're just going to clean this one up. That was real bad. Re-up. Opponent goes first, and we are presented with a curve we're going to keep. We appear to be playing against a blue-white-red control deck. With no burn magic, we're going to go fast. So we are certainly going to be met with a Deafening Clarion. We'll get in for one, and we'll play Vashino Pyromancer. And then after that point, we're going to rely a little bit on this Lava Runner to do some work, I think, if I can find another instant or sorcery. But Deafening Clarion's pretty bad, because we did keep a creature-based hand. So we will see. Detection Tower. This person's attacking against black-green midrange. So, nothing. Nothing. Do we play the Fanatical Firebrand and bring them to 12? I think yes. Maybe we save it. Maybe we hit him for 3 and then just drop a Lava Runner. I think that's what we're going to do. And then we'll drop a Lava Runner. And we'll see what they do. Let's see here. This is 4. 4 by 2 is 8. Yeah, there's the Deafening Clarion, which we were anticipating. We're going to shock their dome. If we had more mana in our hand, we wouldn't need to do that. But we have to be mana efficient here to make sure we can get as many points of burn damage as possible. This is a Rekindling Phoenix. My fear for playing it right now is that they just go Teferi Takedown. If they do go Teferi Takedown, I can just finish it off with the Fanatical Firebrand, I suppose. So maybe that's not the worst thing. Ixalan's Binding's a pain in the ass, but we're never going to get around that. So we just have to hope they don't have it. Teferi Takedown. There that is. And now we're going to start with Firebrand and dome them. Because we totally have this Chain Whirler, which is going to help quite a bit. So dome ya. Chain Whirler. Put them at 9. Put Teferi at nothing. Hopefully we can make that Rekindling Phoenix do some work. Sandbag this land? No, I think we'll start sandbagging after we hit our 5th land drop. Fight with fire? That's rude. Vashino Pyromancer? Yeah, that's pretty good. We're going to get in. We're going to bring it down to 6. Provided we don't get Essence Scatter. They could Revitalize still, too. So we're going to get in with everything to see if they settle the wreckage. If they do, we'll drop our Kindling Phoenix because we'll be out of Syncopate range. If they don't, it might not be unreasonable to just sit with what we have. Although if we play Rekindling Phoenix, if they feel they need to counter, it keeps them off of Insight. So I think we will play the Rekindling Phoenix after further evaluation. So now that they have an Insight, they didn't cast the Insight. Keeping them at a lower hand size for now, which is ideal. Now, drawing Shocks or Pyromancers means I can be gentle with how I get in. They did have the Insight. So, and they die. They don't have a way to deal with a creature, they die to damage. Outstanding. If we can win 2 more, we're in the next tier. What is it? Ooh, that's quite good. Alright, get back in there. Do more work with mono red. We are out of 8 games, 7-1. That's pretty good. Opponents on the play. My only creatures are Rekindling Phoenix. I don't have an enabler for Wizard's Lightning. The plus side is I have a Lava Coil, and I've got enough lands to play probably this Rekindling Phoenix when I get to it. We are going to keep it. It is a slower hand. Alright. We're fine if we're done drawing lands after this. If If we start to top deck a bunch of mountains, we are in deep shit. There's a search for Skazkanta. A second Lava Coil I don't think is what we wanted in the matchup. So I have a feeling we're not going to run our opponent over like we did last game. Although we did just dodge Definite Clarion for what that's worth. We're going to strike them just to get some damage in. There's a Firebrand. Yeah, we'll try to just get in with it. Alright. Let's see where they're at. They want to go back to 19, which is real bad for us. We have 2 copies of Lava Coil and the best of 1 version of the deck for Drakes and stuff like that. It's very bad to draw them in this matchup. Although, if they find a Niv Mizzet, they can be arguably okay. We'll play out this mountain, and we will swing in at face. And then we're going to attempt to play Rekindling Phoenix. Because Rekindling Phoenix is not as good as Experimental Frenzy in the matchup. So if they're going to counter something, we'd rather it be Phoenix. They don't have a counter spell for Phoenix, or they're not willing to use it. So now we have to be careful about attacking with Phoenix. They could seal it away. Let's see what they do. Okay, we can just strike our Phoenix if they seal it away, putting us between a rock and a hard place if they board wipe the turn after that. But I think that that's the only thing we have to do. And I think it's a better use of Lightning Strike. Now, if they decide to settle the wreckage, we're just going to drop Frenzy and call it a day. But we're going to get in. So they're settled. We'll resolve the settle. We want the extra mana for when we have the Experimental Frenzy resolved. And then if they go Teferi, tuck the Experimental Frenzy, we'll deal with the Teferi. And then we'll go from there. Hopefully they're not playing like Spell Pierce. As good as Search for Skazkanta is in the matchup, I think Experimental Frenzy is better. So let's see, no Teferi. So land drop, Lava Runner. Another land will end the turn. Explosion for 2. Well, that's going to resolve. Alright, Skazkanta. Are we seeing a flip? Just 4 cards? No, we're not even close. Here we go. Well, we're going to cast it. We seem to have hit an impasse. So this is rough. We're seeing a lot of lands and a lot of extra Experimental Frenzies, which we don't actually want. So they didn't do anything, so we get to try this again. Run away. Storm? Start storming? They're going to ionize the runaway, probably because they know we can start storming with it. So we will just keep trucking away with the top of our library. We are finding all of our lands. Now, to be fair, this isn't the most horrible thing in the world, because at some point, because of all the mana we have, we'll be able to crack both Frenzies when we have just a juicy hand. We are worried about them playing the Mirari Conjecture, Expansion Explosion, and Fight with Fire, because they are 3 lands away from that happening to us. Piv Nizzit the Payron. We're going to get in for 4, and then we're going to try to Lightning Strike the Niv Mizzet if they let us. So they're going to take the 4. We are now just going to start playing the burn magic off the top of our decks. And they're going to draw a bunch of cards, unfortunately. Play a land. Wow. This is unfortunate. We will end the turn there. We'll discard a land, I think. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 lands. I mean, we only have a few left. So that's going to happen. What is he going to do? Give creatures lifelink? I would have done both, because then he could play another instant or sorcery and kill their Kindling Phoenix. Because gaining 5 life, while it is quite good here, we have a lot of mana to work with, so we'll see. I mean, the first thing we're going to do is get in. No, that isn't. We should have waited, so if we drew creatures it would have been good. But we'll see if they have anything to say about the Rekindling Phoenix. That was a mistake. We've made a mistake. So we are going to shock them. Maybe it makes more sense to just shock Niv Mizzet. Yeah, we're going to shock Niv Mizzet. We're going to see if we can string together enough burn damage to kill it at this point. We will take an extra land out of our deck. Let's play the how many lands we got left game. Now I'm kind of glad we did that the way we did it. So we have a total of 7 lands left. Okay. So how about a Fanatical Firebrand? How about a Chain Whirler? How about a land? No! Stop! I don't think there's a way we get out of this. We'll end the turn. Yeah, we've just hit too many lands off of our Experimental Frenzies. Like, if they just have Expansion Explosion, we're just done. Deadzo. I mean, gosh, if they just have 3 instants or sorceries, we're dead. Fight with Fire, me, concede. Yeah, they got us. That's what happens when your Experimental Frenzy isn't good. Against Mono Green, we saw what happens when it is good. Because when it's good, it's bonkers. But sometimes you hit all your lands, which is rare for a deck like this, but it does happen. I go first. There's 3 4-drops, though. I think we have to mulligan this hand based off the fact that I can only play one of the things in my hand that's not that good. Mulligan, much better. We would honestly keep a land on top in this scenario. Our opponent is making the important decisions. Well, they're taking their sweet time. So let's look at this hand. What is the game plan? Hope they're playing mono white, Chain Whirler them out of the game. That's a good game plan. But this deck's game plan is not unbelievably striking. It's just to burn them out. So we have some pieces for that. We'll see if we can't draw more. They're keeping, we'll keep too. I think we're ultimately going to keep this line on top. Only because we're on the play. And we want to start casting these Chain Whirlers. Mono blue. We're gonna shock it off of the board now, I think is a fine way to play it. These Chain Whirlers will be good for the first 3 turns. And then they'll stop being good pretty quickly after. Oh, now we wish we didn't keep the land. Oh no. Alright, these mono blue decks typically don't play Essence Scatter in best of 1 format, but we're certainly probably going to see it. Merfolk Trickster down. There it is. Curious Obsession on the Merfolk Trickster is kind of weird. They're not going to be able to keep my Chain Whirlers down for that long. Okay, so there's a Storm Tamer. So... We'll cast Chain Whirler first. I suppose we could attack first. Yeah, we'll play Chain Whirler first. They're going to die down the Storm Tamer. I think it's worth the shock here. Because they're going to try to keep protecting their Merfolk Trickster. I don't want it to even get in. We'll get in there for 3. We're trying to balance racing them and stopping them from being able to protect their Trickster too much. I wonder if they opted that Opt to the top. I always don't know whether to keep Opt on top or not. Merfolk Trickster is going to tap the Chain Whirler. They're going to get in for 3. And then we're just going to try to pound back for 6. So we'll get in for 6. I don't think... Maybe they block with the Merfolk Trickster, but yeah, it doesn't seem very worth it. Then we're going to play Steamkin, and we're going to play Fanatical Firebrand. Why? Because we want to deal more damage. And this makes it very difficult for them to have positive ROI attacks. It's their 3rd opt of the game. What have we seen so far? 2 Storm Tamers, 1 dive down, 3 ops. They've probably got like a plethora of dive downs and spell pierces in the deck as well. If we double block and they have dive down, that kind of sucks. But that means they have to use another dive down. So I think that we will take that risk. We could always just plan to swing back. If they have dive down, that means they can't cast Tempest unless they have a land. We're going to try this. So now we're going to see a Jin. Let's get one of those lava coils I keep getting when I don't need it. Just a Mistcloak Herald. That's not the worst thing ever. And a Warcry Marauder. Let's draw another Chain Whirler. No? Okay, we're going to get in. And then we want to operate on 5 lands, just in case we draw a copy of Experimental Frenzy. So we're going to get in with both unless they trickster us. And then we'll just play Vaishino Pyromancer and hope they don't have Retort. Let's try it. You got a Retort? There's the Retort. And then we'll pass. We'll see if they basically need to worry about blocking now. They could cast Sleep. That's a solid spell. Luckily, we have just a plethora of burn magic we can top deck into, and they apparently know that, so they concede, and we win again. Alright, come on, let's get into Platinum 2. Thank you for the gold. Let's do it again. Oh. I go first. We've got Juice. Let's keep Juice. Our game plan is probably going to be to go Lava Runner, turn 1. Turn 2, Steam can attack for 1. Then turn 3, press the advantage with some burn magic. Okay. We'll get in first. Now we'll drop the Steam can. And if they drop something like a Wild Growth Walker, we have a plan for that. Coil the Runaway Steamkin. Shock it. Shivan Fire. I have no clue what decks are green and red. Banefire it for 1. Well, that's certainly not nothing. Here we are just going to get really aggressive. We will cast the Wizard's Lightning for the important mana advantage we'll gain. Shock them. Bring them down to 10. What else could they do here? Thrashing Brontodon. Lava Coil? Yeah, it is a Lava Coil. I'm so good at top decking. Alright, get him down to 6. And if they don't make a blocker, it'll be lethal next turn. So what are we afraid of? Rekindling Phoenix is one of the things we're afraid of. Alright, let's see if we can't draw Juice. That's not Juice. It's not bad, though. Maybe we attack for 4. They block with 1. Then we shock it and Firebrand the token out of play. We attack for 2. We bring them down to 4. We shock them and Firebrand them. That could also be good. Huh. Or we just play the Fanatical Firebrand and ship the turn, allowing them to develop their board state more while remaining at 6. That doesn't seem so good. We're going to get in for 4. So we're going to get 1 damage on that. And then the question is, do we want to bring them to 1? Or would we like to deal with Rekindling Phoenix and be out of gas? Because if we do have Rekindling Phoenix and they drop like a Regisaur Alpha, then we're pretty far away from killing them. So I think we're actually just going to drop Fanatical Firebrand and pass. And with that line of play, it was probably better to drop Fanatical Firebrand and attack. But, you know, sometimes you make mistakes. We'll try it that way. A second Phoenix. It's something. They're not going to attack. I feel like they have to try to race here. We will play a Mountain, and we will ship the turn. We are looking for Fanatical Firebrand, Shock, Chain Whirler, Lightning Strike, Wizard's Lightning, or Vaishino Pyromancer. All of those will do the job. Now they have a clock, so we gotta draw it quick. Runaway Steamkin doesn't quite do it, but it's a start, kind of. It means we maybe don't just die. Although he can just sack 2 goblins to kill me, which is certainly something. So I think we have to kill one of the phoenixes. So yeah, because if we go to 4, then he just sacks 2 goblins and kills me. So this game may have slipped away here. In fact, I'm certain this game slipped away. I don't think any top deck can bring us out of this. Maybe Chain Whirler. Maybe Chain Whirler gives us another turn. That's about it, though. Jade Light. It's pretty good. Uh-oh. They were correct in thinking that that was a little bit late for a Rogworth Walker. There's a Chain Whirler. Let's do it. So they're certainly going to be sacking one of those to deal 2 to me. Lightning Strike and the Steamkin's pretty good, but they're not going to be sacking to deal 2 to me, which is great. If we get him with Lava Runner, they kill us to damage. This can sacrifice itself. Huh. And if we attack and they go to 1, then they can just hit us with all their creatures. I block 1 and die, so no attackers. Right? Yeah, because if I block the Siege Gang Commander, I'll take 7, they'll deal 2 to me. And if I block the Jade Light Ranger, they'll hit me with Siege Gang Commander, and then they'll deal 2 to me and I'll die. So, that's it. So if they've got, like, removal, we're dead. Ooh, that's pretty good. Yeah, we are out of the game. We will concede and re-up. Come on, we're just trying to get into Platinum 2, baby. Re-up. Opponent goes first. We've got double Chain Whirler with a Get 2 Lava Runner. This is a fine hand. It's not particularly fast, but it's okay. Lava Runner. Don't seal it away, please. Also, don't revitalize. Ooh, they're going to miss their 3rd land drop? That's pretty good for us. Do we want to expend the Burn Magic, or do we want to play a Chain Whirler to punish them for not making their potential 3rd land drop next turn? I think we'll play a Chain Whirler. We'll hedge on them maybe not being able to make a 3rd land drop. We potentially miss out on a point of damage. They made a land drop, but they couldn't board wipe. Fanatical Firebrand. Attack, and if they let us go to damage, we'll burn them twice. Shock your face. Strike your face. Expansion, straight chamber. That adds up. Bring you to 9. Okay. 3 turn on board clock. Of course, this deck plays plenty of removal. But that is not the correct creature. That is something that dies to Lava Boil. We're just going full commit, I think. That way if they try to play like another Drake or something, they're dead to burn damage off the top. Revitalize is pretty good. Oh, they're going to scoop. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, if they didn't have removal, they were definitely dead, so... Shake the foundations. Alright, re-up. We're going to try to do this until we hit Diamond 2. Platinum 2, sorry. Oh, it's going to be a mirror match. It was me and Jace. Yep, we got a bit of a curve. We'll keep it. Best top decks are Wizards, Lightnings, and Shocks, I think. Just to push the advantage with the G2 Lava Runner. If this is mono white, we got 3 lands. I wouldn't hate to see a Goblin Chamberlainer. Now, if it's mono blue, I think it's probably Phoenix instead of mono blue, if I'm being honest. But we're still going to go with the play Steamkin Pass plan. Steamkin. This will let us make our Steamkin into a 3 power next turn. Opt. Yeah, they're probably playing 8 Drake. But we'll know next turn whether they play a red land or they play a blue creature. Whether it's mono blue or 8 Drake. There's another land. There's a search for Azcanta, which tells me that they're probably on 8 Drake or control with bad mana base. It's one of those two things, likely. They can't board clear, so we are going to absolutely be playing Vaishino Pyromancer, Domya, Fanatical Firebrand, Domya, if they are playing blue or red, 2 islands is not enough to board Wraith on turn 3. That's why we're being so hyper aggressive here. Yeah, it looks like they weren't going to make another land drop. Or something. One more game. If we can win this next game, we are in Platinum 2. Let's try it. Come on, baby. Mono red. For the win. Give me that juice hand. Give me that, like, land, Lava Runner, Pyromancer, Wizards, Lightning, Shock. Start top decking into like 4 drops and lands. I don't know. It's probably good, right? Alright, Purico139. You are in the same league as me. Are you also fighting for tier 2? This hand's fine. We're going to keep it, but it's missing pieces. We got to top deck some stuff. This hand does let us just not die to, oh, it's a mirror match. I don't know what that means. Is this a good or bad hand in the mirror? I'm inclined to say it's medium. Because they mold. Alright. Where is my Chain Whirler? Because we're not going to commit this runaway Steamkin. Not with this Fanatical Firebrand hanging out. I think we will burn their creatures out, actually. I think we'll burn both of their creatures out and get in for 2. Keep them off the board. I think that might be the actual best way to utilize our burn magic in this particular scenario. We'll attack with... No, we want to get into 2 damage. Because they're not going to block the Lava Runner with the Fanatical Firebrand if they're smart. So, roll Wizard's Lightning. The Firebrand, we'll let them click us for 1. And then we'll bring them to 18. If we had a Chain Whirler in our hand, we would play that turn completely differently. But we didn't, so we didn't. That said, turns out it would have been pretty good if I hadn't done that. But we're dancing around their Chain Whirler in a real dirty way if they have one. It's not going to kill any of our creatures. We'll strike it and hit them. We'll actually play one of my Steamkin, strike it and hit them. But instead, they're just trying to burn our creatures off desperately, which I am fine with. Follow it with a Steamkin if they try to Chain Whirler it off, or Fanatical Firebrand it off, we'll Lightning Strike that in response. So there is the Firebrand. I almost think I'll strike them now, so I don't have to, like, do that dance of, like, holding strike up for the whole game. They concede. They must have no gas in their hand. They're probably staring at, like, 3 Experimental Frenzies. And what's that? Oh, rank up! Platinum Tier 2. We're just 1 away, everybody. We're 1 tier away from 1. And then after that, we're 1 tier away from Diamond. Thanks for the Night Veil Sprite. Alright, so we've done it. We played up through Tier 3 Platinum to get into Tier 2. Maybe I'll do some sealed stuff coming up. I think I'll read into the Ixalan sealed environment, or the draft environment, and see what I should play. But I think that's going to be it for this stream. That said, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you on the next one, and as always,